Hey, it's Eve with the reality, and I am back again with another video of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 14. So, there wasn't really too much that went into this episode, so I am only really going to indulge in a few points from the episode. So, one of the things that I'm going to get into is the K Michelle Pinky conversation. Well, no. First, let's start with the fact that Shamea learned that Porsha and Kelly made up the night before. So again, Shamea, Pinky, um, Angela, and K Michelle were not privy to that conversation where Porsha and Kelly made up, and so Porsha is pretty much telling Kelly that, she wants to be there for her, she wants to support her, and, they're glad that they can move forward. Of course, Shamia finds that to be weird that she is willing to move forward with Kelly, but she is not willing to move forward with her. I do think that starts to play a part in how the day's events unfold and how we end up to where we end up to at the end of the episode. So the next thing was that you had Pinky talking to Kay when Shamia was talking to her mom on the phone, and Shamia was a little upset. So she had grabbed her tissue and she was just letting her mom know that she was having an okay day, okay morning so far. The day before was a tough day because of all the drama with Angela, of course. And so then we pan to Kay Michelle and Pinky, and they're talking, and Pinky points out that she can see that there's a little something. And K Michelle says, basically I'm the same. But, if you want to back up for me, you know, it is what it is pretty much. And so Pinky says that she does kind of see like a difference. And K Michelle is just like, letting Pinky know that. So it does seem that K Michelle really is really cool with Pinky because she does confide in her with quite a bit of stuff. And so she lets her know in the moment that, when they got on the van, that Shamia told Kelly that basically she was the only one that had her back, or basically she was her only friend, and so on and so on. And K. Michelle is sitting there and she says she felt offended. I mean, which I don't understand. I would feel offended as well. I definitely would feel offended, especially when I've been having your back, and that's how she feels because she like, girl, I've been having your back. And so, um, Pinky says that she does know she has noticed that literally Shamia is arguing with, she's getting into it with everyone, so she just feels like she's carrying like a heavy load right now. I do find it interesting that K Michelle said that she, over the last month and a half, she feels like she has turned into a monster. I'm like, dang, like you feel like she done made that big of a change? And so she was like, sorry, excuse me. I just got off a little bit. Um, so she says that they are, so yeah, so she's basically just like, she's just gonna kind of leave Shamil where she's at, and basically we'll see how things go moving forward. And so we show, then they go to like a store where they learn the history of the skirt things that the Scottish people wear. And like Portia lets him know, like, oh, that everybody can get a scarf. Her and Phaedra are splitting the meal or splitting the bill. And she said, well, maybe I need to take care of it because it's Phaedra's birthday. And so, of course, Kelly's making a joke and laughing. I think that kind of oh, Lord, now I can't talk. Kind of bothers Shamia because now you feel like you're kind of out on an island by yourself because now everybody's cool with Portia but you. Everybody done made up with Porsha but you. So again, I do kind of feel bad for Shamea some, but I do feel like that Shamea, but it doesn't seem like to me like when they're in group settings that Portia does anything to make her not feel included. Like I feel like if Portia was doing things to make her not feel included, I could understand. Now, me and you, yeah, we're not gonna go have no drink nowhere because I'm not messing with you right now. But we can key because they look like they was keying when they got on that bus. Like everybody was keying when Portia had everybody doing the breathing exercises and all that good stuff. Everybody had a good old laugh and da da da. So I don't know. I just feel like that Shamea's having a rough time. But I do say you cannot, you cannot want to be the villain. If you are going to step in the villain role, you better be ready for what comes with it. That's why I never liked Kenya Moore at first. I'm sorry, I didn't. I did not care for Kenya Moore at first because that's how I looked at her as like the villain. And it felt like she stepped into that role and that she was willing to stand 10 toes down in that role of being the villain. And she did not care. Now that I'm older, I can appreciate how she moved in those situations because it was just like, if she was going to be the villain, she was going to be the best villain. She was not playing with them girls back in the day. She was not playing with them. So I just feel like that Shamia is not really ready to step into that role and what the villain actually means. Because if you gonna be the villain, you cannot give two fucks, pretty much. You can't care. You cannot care at all. You can't care. You just can't care at all. You just gotta do what you're gonna do and keep it moving. So you do notice that Shamia makes like a little comment about something about a cash app. Like that's what you used to do. You used to say you were on cash app me or something about them being at the store. Um, so I was like, this is festering in her because I think that if Kelly and Portia did not make up, I don't think this would ever happen. I don't think it would ever happen. So we are now at the restaurant and the ladies again look to be having a good time. Oh yeah, we did have Pinky in there crying about her money problems and she said she had rich people problems and yeah. Again, that wasn't that super important, but she was crying. All the girls were trying to console her and so on and so forth. But that was pretty much it. So they go to Xena and everyone looks to be having a good time. Everyone looks to be ready to have some drinks, have a good night, because it looks like they just gonna pretty much party it up. And so everybody sits down. Now I did notice that Kelly was sitting next to Portia. Again, they have a little kiki laugh, and who knows that again might have rubbed Shamia the wrong way because again now y'all are to the point to where y'all kiki and laughing like more than once. So we have Angela who asked Drew about how her music was going. Drew says that she is excited about her music. It's going good. She has a new single coming out with Ray J. Now I will say we ain't heard it. So I don't know when they coming out because I ain't heard it. I ain't gonna say it ain't out, but I ain't heard it. And so she talks about, Portia, she didn't get to bring this up to her, but her and Dennis, she's trying to see about going on a tour, and her and Dennis have been talking, and they talked about some personal things, and she mentioned that, you know, it did she wasn't sure if like Dennis was like trying to get back with Portia or what was really happening with um how Dennis was feeling and Portia just like, girl, Portia just realized she don't get no, she don't care nothing about no Dennis. She don't want no Dennis. You don't say Porsha don't want Dennis because it seemed like if Porsha really wanted Dennis, she might have never have Dennis back. Because it seems like Dennis want Porsha. Yeah, definitely seems that way. But anyways, so she talks about basically them co-parenting. It does seem like he didn't have an issue with the what's his name, but he seems to have not maybe like an issue, but he seems to be more bothered by the sway of it all. And so they say, well, do you think it's because she's a woman? And Portia's like, she really don't know what it is, but she just need for Dennis to worry about him. She need for him to worry about his flavor of the week, and she gonna worry about what she got going on. I said, I know that's right. You gonna just worry about you. Let him worry about himself. So I don't know how then this turns into, I guess because this is a Dennis conversation, Shamea feels like, oh, okay, so now I can talk about what Dennis told Gerald. So Dennis told Gerald that basically Porsha is not okay with Pilar coming over to their house. And so Shamea doesn't really understand that. And I don't understand how Shamea don't understand that. Like, Shamea, y'all not cool. And I don't think it has anything. I don't think that Porsha at all thinks that they would do anything to her daughter whatsoever. But we're not good. So I just would rather my child not be over. So I'm like, just because we were once cool doesn't mean I'm going to continue to send my child to your house and we're not cool no more. We're not even cordial to each other. We are cordial because we're in a workspace together. We are not cordial out here in this real world. I'm not calling you up to have a little short key with you on the phone and we just keep it cute and keep it moving. No, we don't even do that. We don't do that. So why is my child going to your house? So Portia's just like, no, like the only person that I would even let like what we've gone through and then let my child go to their house is my sister. And Shamea says, well, I thought we were sisters. And so I'm just like, Shamea, whew. I just really think that Shamea is having a hard time grieving this relationship. She's having a very difficult time grieving this relationship. And Porsha has already buried it, put the dirt on it, put flowers on it, a tombstone. She done did all of it. She don't even want to go and visit that mother. She done left it where it's at. And just it is what it is. And I think Shamea is having a difficult time, so it does make me feel bad for her. But Shamea has to understand she gotta move like Portia's moving. When you got a friend that ex friend that don't care, you gotta not care. So we get to the moment of where now Shamea brings up the fact that Portia said something about the mamas, and Portia saying that, you know, what I brought up is already knowledge, is nothing new, it was already out there. Then Shamea proceeds to say that, but what's not out there is the fact that your mama, even way before then, tried to sleep with my daddy. I said, oh, hey, we done went to hell. We done went to hell. I was like, Shamea, why? I just didn't feel like that was needed in that moment. I don't, I just feel like there's enough issues between you and Portia that y'all don't gotta bring y'all's mamas into it. Because this is not a yo mama and my mama issue. This is a me and you issue. So our mamas have nothing to do with the breakdown of our relationship. Who your mama was sleeping with 17,000 years ago ain't got nothing to do with what's going on right now. Unless your mama tried to sleep with my daddy last week, it don't got nothing to do with what's going on right now. So Bush said, oh, okay, baby, I got you. Baby, I came ready. So you thought you should drop that little nugget? I got something for you. Cause see, I had told my mama about this little nugget that you thought you was gonna have. I told my mom about it. And she said, you know what? I'm flabbergasted. But I got something for her. Because really what had happened was she around there sleeping with my boyfriend, which was the brother to the daddy. I said, oh my goodness. Now again, I'ma say, I think Porsche mama and Shamea mama was out there in them streets when they was younger. I done seen a picture of them. They was in them streets. I'm sorry, I believe it. I believe they was in them streets. They was doing some things. And ain't nothing wrong with it. But I'm just trying to figure out how what they was doing back in 1965 got to do with 2026. Well, at this time, 2025. What do they have to do with it? So that's why I'm like, what are we doing, Shamia? And then it was like, Shamia was like, she was ready to throw that out there, but then she wasn't ready for the big dog to come in. Because Portia stayed at the table. She said what she had to say. Shamia was hollering. Shamia was ready. Shamia's gone ready to cry. I said, now, Shamia, you done brought this lady mama up in this situation. And now you gone crying. I said, I know Kelly was like, God darn. I thought we was gonna have me a good old time. I'm over here having a good key with Portia. Everybody cool. And now I'm out here, you snotting on my dress. I just didn't understand Shamia's. I didn't understand why in that moment she wanted to bring up the mom. Like I said, I just feel like that there's probably so many things that happened between Shamia and Portia that the issue could have stayed between the two of them. I'm sorry. That's just what I believe. I don't think that it had to be a yo mama my mama type of thing. Because now your friendship would never be the same. Your friendship will never be the same. Because to say something like that on national TV, it just will never be the same. So Shamia's outside crying, talking about some, you know, these are this is my family. My parents been married for 50 years. But it's like I don't understand how you can say your parents been married for 50 years when you're the one who just brought this to this table right now. If you wanted to have an argument with Portia, have an argument with Portia about y'all's issue, what you and her have going on. There's no way you can tell me that she's been avoiding you all year and you are not cool with her because of what y'all's mamas did 17,000 years ago. That's not what the issue is. So, but that's pretty much where the episode left off. But Miss Portia Williams decided she was gonna come on down to the X, you know, to that old Twitter, and she was gonna drop a little something. Baby, when I opened up it, I said, "Oh no, Portia!" Portia said she got time today, even though she on vacation. Portia said, "Let me find that good Wi-Fi. Let me find that good Wi-Fi. Let me connect, and let me get to it." I said, "Oh, God, this finna get real ugly." And the thing is, they already did the reunion. They already did the reunion. So this going into next season, this gonna be a mess. But all right, let's get on over here into what Portia said. Let's see what Portia had to say. Portia says, "Wait, just catching up in here, just catching up here in the Bahamas." You know, honey. Again, so that means she had to find her some good Wi-Fi around now. She's having a good old time. She said, "Yo, I can't believe there are actually people talking about my mother and mentioning my daughter in a negative way. Was this really worth it? Shamea took this too far. You are not innocent while you are getting people, while you got people discussing my mom because of a lie you told on this show. If we're going to discuss it, let's keep it between us. Now let's discuss you. I said, oh goodness. Wrong road, Porsha. Wrong road. I'm sorry, wrong road, Porsha. She said, now let's discuss you sleeping with your manager. I said, OMG, who's married to one of your high school friends. I said, whoa, what? Then here we go with another pastor. She said, as well as a pastor indicator who's 100% on your roster, along with many more. Hashtag let's go. I said, oh. I said, oh. Porsha said the girl over there sleeping with her friend's husband. Porsha said she over there sleeping with her manager. What she got a manager for? What she getting man? Okay, well, I don't know. Who is the manager? We're gonna have to do some digging, see if we can find some pictures of the manager. Who is the manager? And then it's another pastor, baby. They like sleeping with these pastors. Who is 100% on your roster? So support. So Shamea got a roster. Unlike, I mean, I don't know if people know from Love Island, Kenzie, where she was like, I never had a roster before, but she definitely has had rosters. Porsha says she got a roster. Porsha, how many people's on the roster? Mm, it's finna get ugly because I know Shamia gonna come back with something. I ain't seen nothing so far, but maybe she'll disengage because she don't want to take it. She don't want to get all the way down and dirty because this can get all the way down and dirty, honey. Because when you start talking about ex friends and information and ex, because I can only imagine if I was ever that low down to be trying to spill my friend's tea, I would never. I would never. Ooh, that's a mess. I don't know. But we gonna see, honey. This gonna be real interesting around here. Baby, Porsha done had to clock in from the Bahamas. See, I got time. The people out here talking negatively on my mother and my child. Oh, I got something for you. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But that's all we have for this evening. I want to say thank you. Please continue to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Please leave comments so that we can also discuss. Again, thank you and have a great night.